Also, it's day, so check out the forest during the day. Look at how pretty this place looks. It's unbelievable. Ah, I love it so much. And here we go. Back to the gate. Round key in. Just took us a little bit of time in that dungeon, right? And where are we now? Well, this place looks kind of creepy, right? Kind of scary. Well, let's head inside. I had a really weird moment where I felt like I was playing a really old RPG. I came here and I clicked to the door expecting to hit a loading screen and go inside. But actually, it's all in the same map. Look, you just open the door. You can head in. What the heck is this place? Well, we have some kind of a shrine here. And we have 3 faces. As you walk near the faces, the eyes light up. These look a lot like the things we've been finding around, right? Well, if you click them, they'll talk to you. So this guy says, bring forth 4 power gems to fuse them into the essence of the element. Not all of the gems lay under the skies. Some of them are buried deep underground. Okay, 4 power gems. What did we get earlier for killing that boss? A power gem. So, we need to find 4 of these. We've already got 1. And he wants us to do what? Fuse them into the essence of the element. And he also says not all of them lie under the skies. So, not all of them are above ground. Some of them are deep underground. Okay, well, we've got 1. This guy says, hear ye, O traveller of the dark. Be aware of the elemental shrines. Once houses of light, now refurbished by the masters of the island, the shrines hold the keys to thy survival. Visit all of them and do what the stone philosophers demand, and thee may be granted a way out, if that is what thee most desire. I guess that's what we want, right? We're prisoners. We don't want to be on this island. We want to go. So, apparently, we can find a way out if we go to all of the elemental shrines. So, we're currently in an elemental shrine. This is the Shrine of Fire, okay? And our task, it says, listen to what they have to say. Well, this guy says we need to find 4 gems. So, it sounds like we've got something of a quest here. These aren't exactly NPCs, but it seems very much like that. Finally, this guy says, this is the elemental Shrine of Fire. Fire is the rune of strength, magma, and heat. Northwest is whence the forces of fire are strongest. So really what he's doing there is he's hinting at us, hey, maybe you should go northwest. Which we will do in all due time. I just kind of want to enjoy the fresh air. Look at this place. How did they make this game look so good? Like, you look at the previous game and it's just crazy. I'm so happy that these guys have found so much success with this franchise. It's amazing. Alright, so here we'll find a locked fence. This, just I guess a little bit of a spoiler, we're not going to get through there for a while, but when we're done with most of the whole region, you'll find me saying, look at where we are, and we're back out here. So that's going to be important later. First, I would recommend people explore off to the right. And here we're going to get a real glimpse of how open world the game has become. Behind the Shrine of Fire, you'll find not only food, but a locked chest. Now, we can't get into that. We don't have any lockpicks, right? So we're going to have to find some somewhere. This here, you can even see him already. I see you there. He's hiding an enemy, so we'll kill this guy. It's going to be a bit of a deal for me to relearn, or just learn new, I guess, in the case of some enemies, what many of these enemies are actually called, but I do plan to eventually refer to them as their proper names. But yeah, so we got a chest there, and I guess it was worth coming here at least just to show it off, get that little bit of loot there. Around this corner, here you can find there's actually some more bullets stashed behind this bush. You can very quickly get to a point where, as you can see, you're chopping down those trees just fine. Tikrit, sorry bro, I don't know how hungry you were, for how long you were hungry there, sorry. But I got your back. More bushes here with another enemy. I mean, this might seem pointless, because if maybe they don't come out and attack you. But don't forget, this is all experience. It's all good experience. Even Jonker, for example, we slept just a second ago, right? We rested, so I could feed him some more there. And just to show you how easy it is to power level a farmer if you want to be a bit reckless with food, is we can rest, bring everyone's health, energy back up, as you saw there. And now we can eat again. Oh, look, and he's almost leveled. And now we can rest a little bit again. And I guess it's night, so we could be a little bit more scared. But boom, there you go, he's leveled up. And this is kind of the way that the farmer works. And this is something that I wanted to do. I'm sure we'll be fine with food regardless. So what do we want to put Jonker onto? Well, ultimately, I do want to have him on heavy weapons. I don't want to miss out on any heavy weapons that appear. But for now, the game throws you more light weapons than heavy, so I think I will stick with light. But instead of speccing further into light weapons, when eventually he's just going to abandon the tree, how about we put him into critical? So this improves our chance of scoring a critical hit with melee, ranged, throwing, and firearm attacks. So let's do it. Put a point in there. Again, it's a bit more dark. I love running around in the light so much, but we don't really have the resources to play around that much. Here, you'll find there's another way out. Now, I was going to end this episode going down there at some point, but it's not happening. There's something so cool there, we can't do it yet. I will just tell you guys, you shouldn't know it right now, but there is actually a secret exactly where I'm stood right now, but we're not supposed to know about that just yet, so I'm not going to get it until we're supposed to know about it. Just remember these two kind of curious lights here out in the forest will become clear later. And look! There's a power gem there. Look, right there. Right out of our reach. Well, if we move around here... Ah! It's locked, so how do we get in there? That might seem... it looks a lot more intimidating than it actually is. This is probably one of the easier power gems to get. Now, remember, we only need 4. Once we've got this, then that just leaves 2 more. Lotopatho levels up again. Twigroot levels up again. This is all going to really help us. I would recommend exploring all of the areas out in this forest before you go to where the shrine said and, you know, actually start working our way underground. There's a fairly significant dungeon we're headed to right now. I would describe it as a medium-sized dungeon. And it will be quite the adventure. It can also be very dangerous when you first go into that dungeon. It's actually the place where I feel like a lot of people will decide, I want to re-roll my party. I feel like I could be doing better. Certainly, it's the first place I did it. So, we'll hit the switch. And you might have heard something close just then. Well, if we have a look around... I'm just scanning the walls here. If I ever do that and it looks like it doesn't make sense, I'm just scanning, making sure I haven't missed any items. I know people would freak out if you see something really cool on the floor and I totally miss it. And there you go. Pretty easy, right? So that's another power gem. That's 2 out of 4. That ain't bad. So we can level up Lotopatho here. So let's talk a little bit about what he's been doing. He's already 2 into light weapons, which is awesome. And he's also 1 into dodge, so he's a bit more evasive. Now, I have a really cool plan for Lotopatho and Sanon. These two are going to become like a badass duo, right? They're going to have all these cool little synergies with one another. It's going to be incredible. But to start that off, Lotopatho is going to need accuracy. And so by putting points into accuracy, we become more accurate, of course. But also, you'll notice it says, after 2 skill levels, it allows you to perform melee attacks from the back row. So right now, the reason we don't have Jonker in the back, or of like Twigroot, first of all, is Twigroot's more squishy, right? But Jonker actually can't hit it, so it can't reach it, you see? He can't even hit. So you need to spec into accuracy if you want to be able to do that. If you want to be able to safely attack from the back. And that is something, a very cool plan I have, which we'll be working on soon enough. Twigroot also leveled. What do we want to put Twigroot in? I guess for now we'll just go deeper into missile weapons because he'll start doing more damage with this rock and slingshot. Now the really cool thing about Twigroot as a rogue is a class that's kind of unique in that it allows you to critical hit with ranged weapons. He has a base chance to crit already, so every now and then he'll throw a rock and it will hit square between the eyes of something and do tons of damage. And that's a perk that he never had before when he was a farmer. Anyway, so breaking through into this area reveals some far more frightening enemies. These are wargs. The wargs, okay, will gang up and surround you if you are not careful. So I just need to... I kind of want to lure some of them over. I think we'll be okay here. Oh, no, that's a fizzle. All right, so there he's at range. So look, we'll throw a rocket in from behind. We'll throw the knife at him from behind. And we'll keep doing it, and the second he comes into melee, we can hammer him with all this regular stuff. But watch how much damage he does. He can go berserk. I've had Lotopatho just immediately chewed out and just killed straight away before. Very scary. Wargs are not easy critters to deal with. And as I say, there's a few patrols around here. So you'll start to get an idea of whether your team's very strong at this point. Here's a very mysterious sign. A-R-E, U-H-U-K-O, A-R-E-U-H-U-E. Well, that seems really weird. This is one of those things you can spend a long time as a player looking at, and you'll be like, oh, what does that mean? Is that like some big puzzle? Is this something I'm meant to know? Or you can give up. Or you can end up going online on Google and say, oh, what does this thing mean? And you end up getting the secret early. Well, we're not going to be doing that. We're not supposed to know what that means yet. Maybe you guys can try and figure out what that means. But I'll tell you now, it's something we're just going to have to remember. And here's where some of the more classic dungeon crawling elements come into the game. Lotopatho just got his face chewed off. Oh my god, I am running away. There's also no save crystal in this area. So we're going to have to go back to the beach. Which isn't too far away, and I can cut it anyway. But you'll sort of get a feel for how small the game can be once you know where you're going. Like, for example, once we've opened that gate, once we've unlocked some areas, it actually doesn't take us very long to get back to the Shipwreck Cove, which is just here. The reason I'm running from the wargs is I don't want to kill any enemies with a party member dead. There is actually a bit of a benefit of coming back to this map. The turtles are really good for food, right? They give you the turtle steaks, they give you all kinds of things. And that can be good to collect because you'll level your farmer and so forth that much quicker. But yeah, so we'll kill this guy. I'll cut us back over to that area we were just at, and we'll collect some food, as you can see here. Okay, we're back. We're back at the gate here. I decided to rest until it was day as well, so we could see a little bit better, see this lovely lighting while we're moving around. In theory, I mean, the only reason I had a guy die there, to be honest, was because I was a little bit distracted talking to you guys. If you're just a little bit more careful, you know, you can be backing up, you can be backpedaling a lot more. Here, we'll grab some warg meat while we're at it. This will be good for later. At least to level Jonker up a bit more. And there should still be at least one warg hiding around here. There you are. There you are. And, I mean, as long as you keep the offense up, you should be okay. Loto Pafo, I tend to find against certain enemies just can get very unlucky. And that's the nature of building an evasive character at this point in the game. You don't have to. I mean, this is just sort of the way I like to do it. Or so far. I might find that when I'm much better at the game, I'm like, whoa, this is such a stupid idea. Anyway, so what do we got around here? This scarier, like, warg section. Well, we have another face. It lights up, and if you click it, it says, this is another way out. Well, I don't really know what that means, so why don't we mark on our map with a question mark right here, this is another way out, and maybe later on in the game we'll figure out exactly what's going on there. And as I was talking about when we originally got killed, this sign over here, what does this mean? Well, you could maybe try to figure it out. We have no real idea though, so I am just going to drag once again another question mark over and type weird message on sign. Done. So we've now got two mysteries here. We can remember where they are. I'm going to try and use the map as much as possible because I really think that's a big part of what it means to play this game. And that's pretty much it that we can find so far, right? Well, if we continue to explore, we should find, at the very least... Oh, what's that? No, I thought that was a mushroom for a second. We should find another way underground. I'm going to break this here too, though. Because we should find... There you go. So there's a bloodroot here. And now we've got our first heavy weapon. Actually, I think this is still classed as a light weapon. We get a Zaffi robe and a Zaffi mask. Or a shemag? The fabric of the shemag keeps all the pervasive desert dust out of the mouth and nostrils of Zaffi caravan masters. So there are achievements in the game to equip one character with a full set of a certain type of gear. So we could have Tikrit on full Zaffi gear, for example. And maybe we'll go for that. There's still a Zaffi robe here. Did we just pick up a new one, though, on the ground? Yeah, we did. So what we'll want is we'll want the shoes and the leggings, and eventually once we've got all of it, boom, there you go. There's loads of different types of armor sets, and we'll focus on that soon. You will notice Loto Pafo's got a bit of a red icon on him at the moment. I'll talk about that in a second. And yeah, so we'll just grab that. That wasn't technically a secret. I mean, it was just break a bush and get to some items you find on the floor. But it's worth pointing out that it's there nonetheless. And now, I guess, we're going to head underground again. This is the start of, as I say, this medium-sized dungeon. You'll notice now we're in the twigroot tunnels. The twigroot tunnels down here was a totally different section. I know I didn't reveal that tiny bit next to the chest. That is just a wall, though. We were in the room. We saw that it was just a wall. We're now way up north here, and you'll see that this does match up one for one with where we were above. So we've got a bit of an adventure ahead of us here. The torch is already going out. That is not a good omen. Not a good omen at all. Well, let's see what we've got. So far, we've just got a loaf of bread. And I will warn you guys, it's probably a very good idea to save your game now, because if you didn't consider the wargs in the forest above to be a jump in difficulty, there is a definite jump in difficulty right now. Be ready with your potions. Remember to get your quick fingers. Let's see what's around this corner. Oh, what the hell? Okay, you guys might have recognized that from the previous game, sort of, maybe? Interesting looking guy. He just teleported away. That seems like an ill omen at the very least. Let's not get too distracted though. Here is just a cubby hole. There's nothing in it. Don't worry, there's no secrets. Here, on our right, we have a gate to a place called that says there's no turning back. It'll take us a while before we can turn back there, so be warned. And over here... Oh, God, there he is. We have a ratling. So, yeah, we will be fighting enemies of basically what we are. These guys really hurt. Now, I'll just remind you guys, the poison spell is an AoE you can drop on the ground. I'm already having to drink a potion there to keep myself safe. Dropping that on the ground is good because it can start damaging them before they even turn certain corners. Loto Pafo is already a little bit lower, but as long as we just keep attacking, we get the hits, we don't get too unlucky, we should be able to kill both of them. That's right, there are two. You'll notice that Jonker is taking a way less damage here. Suddenly Sanon's looking bad because he's out of mana and we don't have any potions on him, which is something I should have set up. We're already out of rocks, but that's fine. twigroot's still got stuff he can throw. He won't be doing so much damage with the knives and darts here because these things will scale off of his strength instead of his dex. Now we're getting... No! I was so close to being able to use that potion. God damn it. And we know that that rattling is low. I'm going to have to go back. Oh, God. No. Actually, he doesn't level up from killing enemies anyway, right? So we might be okay. We'll do less damage. Yes! Woo! He's dead. That's fine. I know that Jonker died, and that sucks. But Jonker doesn't get experience from kills anyway, so it's actually alright for now. It does mean we're seriously weaker, though, for anything else we try to fight. I was not counting on him dying. Right now, the only way we can resurrect people who are dead is to return to the save sphere. But here, we find a little cubbyhole, and we find a spell that would be very useful to us. This is the Scroll of Shield. Again, it's like a generic magey ability, and so as you can see, it requires Concentration 1. It says it creates a magical shield around you. The shield protects from physical damage by increasing your protection by 25. Every point in concentration increases its duration by a further 10 seconds. 25 protection is huge. Jonker doesn't even have half of that. And he's like spec'd to be a really protective guy, okay? So this would make Sanon really defensive. Now, the rune combo, as you can see, is the 3 middle glyphs, which we can do here. But it will only cast the ability on Sanon. So it won't put it on the whole team. It is a powerful spell, though, and it suddenly means he's become a big tank. And this is where some of the synergy is going to lie with our team later. Once Loto Patho can attack from the back line, what we can do is when Sanon gets low on energy, he can come up and start hitting people with melee weapons, while Loto Patho, who's just got low on health, can attack safely from behind while they both regen. So that's going to be really cool. I'm really excited about finally getting that. But right now we're in a bit of a dire strait, and we at least need one more level before Loto Patho can even attack from the back line. Without Jonker, we're going to take a little bit longer getting through stuff. We'll put the salami on his body, at least for now. We get a leather cap, which I'm going to put on twigroot. Oh, we just put the Zaffy stuff on twigroot, right, didn't we? All right, we'll carry it. I guess I'll figure out between episodes who's going to be equipped with what. That's what I used to do on the other game, because you get... a lot of this is sort of very quietly thinking about, okay, how does this work? What's going to be best? We'll take this torch and relight. There we go. Beautiful. And what did we find in here, really? Besides that, didn't we get a key? We got a lockpick, but not very much else, sadly. So this doesn't help us that much with the rest of the dungeon. It looks like we've just got this one gate here that says no turning back. I'm going to do it. I'm going to try and do it without Jonker. This is probably a huge mistake. But here we go. So we're currently stood on a trapdoor. I don't know whether you guys noticed that. As we walk inside, by putting pressure on it, we've opened up that trapdoor, and we've opened up this one here. Oh dear. And we've got to get across over there. What do we do? How do we even get across? Well, this is going to be a big problem. Again, though, I want to show you guys what it's like when you fall down these, because there is actually a secret in this one. So we're going to deliberately fall down, something most players wouldn't want to do. Immediately you'll find you get a potion at the bottom, which is useful. You can always sit, you can wait, you can rest, you can get your health back like so. And down here we get a plaque that says, remember, sometimes things are hidden in plain sight. Interesting. So what does that mean? Well, that's trying to tell us the answer to the puzzle above. This time when we fell down the trapdoor, you will have noticed Sanon got this big red box appear around him. This is an injury. We fell a great height. He injured his foot. So he now has a foot injury, and this reduces his movement speed and his maximum load. So now as a group, because he's slow and we're all shackled together, we all move a little bit slower. Big problem. There are injuries for everywhere. If you injure a hand, you can no longer use that hand. So if Loto Patho injured his shield-bearing arm, he can't use it anymore. If he injures his dagger-wielding hand, he can't use that anymore. So you'd want to swap around, for example, and then you'd be okay. If you injure your legs, as someone was injured earlier, that actually stops your energy naturally regenerating. I believe a chest injury stops your health naturally regenerating. It can be very dangerous. So that's another consequence of falling down trapdoors. And injuries can go away with time or by going to a save crystal, potions, spells. Right now, our options are very limited. So you're going to be tempted to go through that teleport. That will take you back upstairs. We're not going to do that, though, because the sign is telling us two things, actually. Sometimes things are hidden in plain sight. Well, that refers to above to finish the puzzle, but it also refers to down here. Down here, you'll find another secret switch. This is a different type of switch. It's not the same like circular one we saw before. This one's a little bit more well hidden. If we click it, you notice it actually turns the teleporter off completely and opens a secret passageway. Behind the passageway is a mummy. I'm not too threatened by mummies anymore, even though one of our guys is dead and we're going to do a lot less damage. Mummies are pretty easy. I mean, we're spec'd pretty far as fire mages, and that's their weakness. And here we find some really nice loot. We find 3 fire bombs. I'll talk to you guys about bombs when we get to the time. We also get a bunch more ammo. So if we'd been using that gun, maybe we'd be quite happy, because ammo would be getting a little bit harder to find. Imagine every time I throw a rock, instead I'm consuming ammo. That's kind of the thing that sucks about guns. And that's you cut with missile stuff like bows, arrows, rocks, all kind of darts, knives. You can pick them back up off the ground. You can't pick bullets back up. So you kind of have to make do with what you get. And this means once you run out of ammo, you sort of need to spec that guy into another weapon set anyway. And then it's like, why am I spec'd into firearms at all? Unless you're getting like every single secret and you're incredibly conservative. Anyway, that's a cool secret down there. Did we already replace our torch? I guess we can replace this one here. So we'll click to the wall. Swap like that, so now we've got 2 fresh torches. And here you'll notice there's a much easier to find secret button, and this has allowed us to progress. Note, it hasn't lifted this up, so still that sign that said no way back, still there's no way back. I'm just going to put a little exclamation mark there, and we're not going to sign it, we're just going to remember, okay, this is where we got stuck. So, thankfully for us though, if we just move on ahead, you see the blue light, you go to the blue light, you can find there is a save crystal. We can bring our guys back to life, and what do you know, it was worth sticking it out just in case.